Ugly baby. Ugly baby.
You cannot unsee. You cannot look away. Everybody needs
Rolling.
Okay, I'm ready. Is this thing?
Rolling.
Okay, go, ready. Okay, tell me when.
Rolling.
Are we going?
Yes.
Rolling.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm Grandpa. I'm Grandpa Puke, and we're ready to work it out. You got problems. You got problems. I know you do. I'm going to take your problems. I'm going to fix them. We're going to work out your problems. We're going to lift them over our heads. We're going to wave our arms around. We're going to run around your problems. We're going to stomp on your problems. We're going to take on them, and we're going to fix them good. That's right. You don't need a therapist. You got me, Grandpa Puke. I'm here to fix you right and fix you now. I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to scream at you, and you're going to like it. And when you're done, you're going to be all sorts of better. Welcome to Working It Out with Grandpa Puke. What's your problem?
Our problem is that we're sisters, and in the car, we always fight about who's gonna eat the gross stuff at the picnic.
Who's gonna eat the gross stuff at the picnic is the problem. So, for instance, if you're at the picnic with your sister and you're thinking to yourself, hey, maybe there's some dog lice at the park. I might want to get a handful of dog lice. And she's like, I want to eat the dog lice first. And you're like, no, I'm gonna eat the dog lice. Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? There's gonna be an old lady there and she's gonna sneeze. Well, I want to take her hanky and wipe it on my hot dog. Oh, no, I want to do that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
So the situation is that you are going to a picnic and one of you gets the gross stuff more than the other one. Can you tell me your last time out at a fun time family picnic, who got the gross stuff and what was it?
She got the gross stuff.
What was it? Chicken heads?
No.
Toenails?
No.
Was it a pile of goobers?
No.
That candy's disgusting. I don't care what anyone says. Goobers are gross.
It was dog puke.
She got the dog puke.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of it?
Mm-hmm.
Did she share it all?
No.
You got none?
Yeah.
Look me in the eye. You got no dog puke.
No one knows this, but I threw my cat out the window because I thought he could fly like a soaring bird. He couldn't. I got a new cat though.
Sometimes I sneak out of bed and sneak into my sister's room and cut all her hair off.
No one knows, but I go into houses in the middle of the night and steal people's tongues.
I know Brian really loves pickles and he makes his own pickles, but sorry, I just don't like pickles.
I don't like pickles.
What is the best food you eat when you're scared?
I don't like dairy, not the soft serve. No.
Ice cream. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Alpaca.
Alpaca.
Alpaca the back who started the car. What did the mayo say when you opened the fridge?
Oh, with mayonnaise, it could be anything. She's wild.
Close the door, I'm dressing.
Yep, that sounds just like her.
Candy gives you problems. A spy entered a factory without permission. It was a candy factory. He needed candy to bribe people, so they would not reveal that he was a spy. A security guard caught the spy
And brought him to the factory jail that was made out of peppermint sticks.
An exterminator was there, and he tried to exterminate the spy with a bug vacuum. The vacuum was not powerful enough to suck up the spy. It simply removed all of his hair. Bald and angry, the spy tried to eat his way out of the peppermint.
The factory was owned by Boom, a global crime organization that was putting explosives into candy.
As he was escaping, the spy exploded. His head popped off and squiggled onto a nearby basketball court.
As cheerleaders were coming out for the halftime show.
During their routine, one of the cheerleaders kicked the spy's head into the hoop, and the crowd went wild. As it landed, the head split in half. The crowd ran onto the court and began fighting over the two halves of the spy's head. The spy tried to scream for help, but he could only say partial words and screamed, "Help!" Instead, thinking it was a demon speaking, the crowd threw half of his head in the desert.
And that half of the spy's head became dehydrated.
It thought it saw a lake and thumped over to it, but it was just a mirage.
It was then that he saw the largest cow that he had ever seen.
The spy wanted to eat the cow. But the cow got to his half head first.
The other half of the spy's head got sold on eBay and became the star attraction at the National Head Museum.
Hey, we're the National Head Museum. Well, it's S2E4, come on in!
Hi, I'm Carissa Fergenstein, and I'm a member of the National Head Museum.
I am Samantha Thomas, and I come from Europe because my friends say this is a good museum.
I'm a hairstylist, and I was really struggling with ideas on what hairdos to give to people. Some of the heads have really nice hair, and I take pictures and I bring it back to my studio, and I use it as like examples on what to give my clients.
This is my first time visiting this museum. It is weird. Like I see heads that were cut off bodies, and I'd be like, why would someone do that? Poor people. And some person cutting hair of heads. It was weird.
Sometimes I actually snip some hair because the color is so good. But don't tell anyone, don't tell anyone.
It's also so expensive. Everything expensive in California. Just to come into the museum, it's $8 per hour. It's insane.
Sometimes, late at night, I get hungry and I order pizza and I eat it.
Hey, I'm a rock and land. Play the piano with me now. Make a song. We are gonna do a song. Let's all learn the part. Kids, all right. Let's over here.
I like money, and my name is Jared. I work as a curator in the National Head Museum. I choose who gets selected to the National Head Museum, and I also founded the National Head Museum.
My name is Lisa Morgan, and I am a staff member at the National Head Museum.
My name is Waffles. And my name is Croffles. And we work at the cafeteria.
I thought that I just astonished about all the people's heads and how different they looked. I also wanted to make a profit.
Oh, I've been working here for probably 2 years now. It's my favorite job and my only one.
I thought I should be the cook, and he runs the cafeteria.
I work on selecting people. I work on the financial side.
I take care of the heads, I feed them, I groom them, I sometimes do their makeup.
Mashed potatoes, they don't have any actual heads. It's just mashed potatoes that are shaped like heads.
Head pizza, mango smoothie. We just call it head smoothie because, you know, it's the National Head Museum.
National Head Museum cafeteria, come and get it.
When
once I went on the tour and then remembered in my backpack I had chicken wings, so I threw it at the tourist.
Once I was going to go to school, I was going to get my math book, and suddenly, I just hanged up. Goodbye.
Can you keep a secret? I can't. I sharpen pencils with my teeth. Don't tell anybody, but I'm gonna take out all the candy from my piñata and fill it with raw chicken.
I eat my sweat. It tastes good.
Alright, so I went to France, and you know how there's a huge heat wave there? Yes, I almost died of stroke. It was very lovely.
Oh, wow.
I also own a nuclear reactor, and I put it in my basement. So, like, there's a lot of radiation every now and then. Oh, well, that sucks for you. I feel so bad. Yes. This summer I'm gonna go on a private cruise to Hawaii, and yes. Did you hear that I brand new surgery? I got a gold-plated weenus.
I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. What did the gum say to the shoe?
What?
Stick with me, we're going places.
What's black and white, 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 black and white.
Let's see, a united America at a costume party dressed as nuns.
Penguins rolling down a hill.
Ugh, so close!
Janitor. I'm the janitor, aka custodian for the museum.
I am Simon French Toast. I am the body handler at the National Head Museum.
My name is Sylvester Stoop. My job is to make sure that all the heads get fed, the bodies get thrown away, and in general, no one gets disgusted.
I mostly like it when there's blood, because then I could just get the power washer and power wash.
I talk to the heads that have just recently been severed, and I see what they would like to do with their bodies. And usually I do like about 5 bodies per day.
When the blood and the hair mix together, then it just gets all then when I try to sweep up the hair, the blood smears on the floor, then it's all dry, then I have to get like a scrubber and scrub it all down. But that's the grossest and hardest part of my job.
We give them a choice of being burned, freezed, or cremated. And we do give some of the bodies, if they want to the locals.
Sometimes I find heads with missing chunks of hair, or maybe some of their beards have been cut off. My main suspect is one of our visitors, and she can be quite a troublemaker.
What's up, baby boomers?
Yo, man, what's going on?
I borrowed a rainbow.
That was so creepy.
Don't tell anyone, but I ate my hamster. He tasted like shrimp.
Boom, boom at Mount Everest. A bunch of dogs love potato chips.
One of the dogs didn't get enough chippity chips and went rogue.
The dogs turned to pickles instead of chippity chips. But the dog couldn't get any more pickles because the tigers were hoarding. The dog snuck into a pickle factory and stole all the pickles.
He took them to a farm.
But there was a bunch of angry cows on the farm. The cows tried to kill the dog by throwing melons at him. Splat, splat, splat! The dog had to leave his pickles behind and escape to the bottom of Mount Everest. The dog climbed the mountain and found a hamburger stand at the top,
where he ordered 10 dozen hamburgers with extra pickles. He didn't realize that the cooks at the hamburger stand were tigers.
The dog has poisoned the burgers! Which made him grow dizzy and caused him to fall off of Mount Everest.
While falling, he spotted a pickle shack on the side of the mountain.
He landed, climbed back up, and ate all the pickles.
And then began harassing the people at the bottom of the mountain by chasing them and covering them in chicken feathers.
A gray mountain wolf pounced on the dog.
The dog turned and vomited pickles onto the wolf.
The wolf screamed,
"Ow, it burns!"
And the dog got a murderous gleam in its eye.
Because its eye was actually an atomic bomb. The dog barked and everything in a 50-mile radius blew up.
Hi, welcome to Foods I Hate. Today I'll be telling you one of the top foods I hate. Popcorn. Bye.
I love popcorn.
Why did the banana go to the doctor?
Because the brown spots were getting bigger and he was getting soft.
Because he wasn't peeling well.
And monkeypox.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Because it had the same thing that the banana had, only didn't go to the doctor and get it treated.
Because the P is silent.
Monkey ox.
What did the meat say when it was hot?
I'm pretty sure it said,
I'm bacon!
Jared is my boss. He pays us. No, he doesn't. And he's a great boss. Great. Real great. I like doing this for many reasons, most of which are because, well, not because of the pay. He pays us literally almost nothing. Minimum wage, people.
Our boss underpays us.
We get $10 a week.
Jared is like my best friend. Jared works there, and I see him all the time. The museum gives them pickle sandwiches, but he doesn't like them, so he gives them to me, and now we're close.
He's not a very good boss.
He's a crummy old man.
Very crummy old man.
And he smells.
He always asks me for more money, which, you know, I do give him a little, but like I said, I'm kind of struggling with my job. Jared, I don't like many things about him because he doesn't give us much money, and when we earn a bunch of money at once, he usually takes most of it to himself. But he does, at least he's the only guy who actually offered me a job, so I'm gonna have to deal with what I get.
I always run away from the toilet after I flush it because there's a witch in the toilet and she wants to eat me.
There are tasers in Qatar. They're very dangerous.
The reason why I shoot laser beams from my eyes is because I was attacked by a horseradish, end.
Mind your words, child. We're watching you.
I've seen Jen Adair cut off heads, and he literally just uses this giant axe and cuts it off.
He doesn't even give them any sedation.
What's sedation?
Oh, it's like a thing that, like, it's like a shot that you give them to make them fall asleep so you don't feel it. Definitely, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt because our person who executes you, aka me, because I'm also the surgeon, I do a really good job. I just kind of like cut around the neck, and then I just kind of like, and then your head falls off. Doesn't hurt. It's just like maybe if like you got a bad cut, like you sprained your ankle, you go, like the doctors kind of like put it back in place. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
You just want to eat a mouthful of dirt? That's it? Oh, dear heart. I think we've solved this problem. Guess what, my friend? You don't have to wait to go to a fun family picnic to eat dirt. And the next time you're out and about, in fact, as soon as you leave this television studio, you can just reach down and grab a handful of dirt and treat yourself to all the gross stuff you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, if you look to your side, you'll see two handy-dandy face ratchets. Or ratcats, eh? If we see, look to your side. Look to your side. Look to your side. Each of you look to your side. Sides, now that we've solved your problem, we like to seal the deal here and working it out with Grandpa Puke by squishing our Fatche. Go on in and squish your face. And just a tiny bit more. Very good. Now think of all the gross things you're going to get at the family picnic. And squish your Fatche. Yes, and a little bit more. Don't be shy about pressing your glasses right against the family-friendly rachete, the Fatche rachete. Yes, a little bit more. Press it in there. Yes, and if your nose still has a bump on it, you're not pushing hard enough. Flat nose. Yes, I think we've solved their problem. Congratulations, you're fixed.
I actually got transported back to the Revolutionary War. I got turned into a camera on George Washington's horse, and it was very disturbing but very amazing.
That reminds me, I got these shades of ultimate coolness, so now I'm like so cool. Even when I faint, it's cool. Everything I do is too cool.
That's cool. Can I borrow those shades?
I need to think about that.
On holidays before the guests arrive, I like to sit in the lasagna.
I have a secret. I'm the one that's been hiding all the pig cheese.
The dog and the horse get green. A dog was walking in the store and saw a horse. When the horse saw the dog, he fell in love. The dog too fell in love and ran to the horse. But there was a trapdoor in the floor. The dog fell into the pit and got covered in green toothpaste.
The horse looked into the pit, slipped, and fell in two. The horse lifted the dog on its head out of the pit, and the dog pulled the horse out after it. The cashier mistook the dog and the horse for slime monsters. She was frightened and threw purple soda at them.
The soda only made them look more like gooey monsters. The cashier ran away and left the door to the shop wide open.
Whenever other customers came in, they also got scared and ran away.
Eventually, the dog and the horse left the shop, but hornets were attracted to the green toothpaste, and they got stuck in it.
Some flies were attracted to the soda, and they too got stuck on the animal.
The dog and the horse became itchy and rolled themselves in cheese puffs.
This caught the attention of a giant grandma witch, who came down from the moon and ate the cheese puff-covered dog and horse. Just then, a giant dinosaur
sliced from the stomach, and the horse and the dog fell out. Both had been cleaned by the giant grandma witch's blood. The horse and the dog ran home and got married and had kids.
They needed pacifiers for their kids, and with nowhere else to shop, they went back to the store where they had first met.
Hey, Deborah.
Hey, Mom. Today I called 911 and now they're arresting me. I'm in jail.
Why can't you tell an egg a joke?
Because they're baby birds.
Because you might crack it up.
And like human babies, they're dumb. They don't get jokes.
What did the sushi say to the bee? Wasabi.
There's a bus driving on a bridge, and the bus crashes, and a lot of people die. And God feels so bad that they died that he gives them all one wish. The first girl was very, 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 very sensitive about her looks, so she wishes to be beautiful. The next person behind in line doesn't know what to wish for, so they just decide to wish to be beautiful as well. And so does the next person, and the next person. So nobody really knows what to wish for, so they keep wishing the same thing as I've been saying. But the guy in the back is laughing. And finally, when it's his turn, God says, "What would you like to wish for, my son?" The guy says, "Make them all ugly again."
The head museum is a really nice place.
My favorite part of the job is seeing my wife every day and getting free food. I love you, darling, my beautiful wife.
A janitor will come up in the janitor convention room. It's a room where janitors meet up, and say that their day was amazing, but I say, nope, the head museum is way better.
I think a fun part about the museum is that we can make people live longer. Like, we can make their head live longer. Even if their bodies don't live, it's still okay.
Maybe if you get the chance, come to the head museum. Get your head cut off. It's a lot. It's more money for me. Please, I only have $35. Come to the National Head Museum because I want money.
Hey, single moms and single dads, it's Mammal Day. You got 5 kids? We'll give you a hammer. National Head Museums.
One word. Children.
Go for camera 1.
Tonight's top story. Tragedy has struck our small town today as a group of children and an irate man have vandalized heads at our beloved National Head Museum.
Tragedy again.
We now bring to you exclusive interviews with those victims affected by this senseless tragedy.
Nice work. You are a wizard.
Can you describe what you saw here today?
Use your wand.
There's this kid that was running around with a hammer.
Shocked.
He was dropping the
good.
hammer down
More
and
surprised. Shake your head.
breaking all the cases. Like my neighbors, like people next to
Shake
me.
your head some more.
Their whole case was shattered, and mine was too.
Has anything like this happened before? Where were the museum staff during the incident?
Lots of arms.
Nice. No, this has never happened. But the janitors, when it did happen, they were on lunch break, so they couldn't help.
Did you witness any of the events that transpired today?
I saw a kid with a hammer swinging it around, you know. He looks at the head cases, and he pretends to like tap on them with the hammer like he's gonna break it, but then he accidentally does break it.
Let him know you understand.
And
big empathy.
Once that happened, that head ended up having to like move museums because their head case was destroyed.
I need to use this old tank.
Keep that arm still.
And then while they're getting
looking good.
me my new
Straight
tank.
Straight arm it.
When my head was smashed, this kid had gotten this giant hammer from the gift shop. I wonder why they even sell them at the gift shop.
Keep it straight.
Their parents, they really just don't care.
Hold it.
Yeah, they just need to like go to the gift shop at the end of the tour.
Hold it steady.
So that when they get their hammer,
they can leave without like damaging anything.
Cut back to close shave.
How were you affected by today's tragedy?
I mean, one kid tried playing volleyball with my head.
It was crazy. I was just rolling around, and then eventually another kid came and started kicking me around, and somehow I ended up in the middle of a pickup soccer game.
They picked up my case and just held it and rocked it while singing a song, which is kind of weird. My dad got his hand caught in the microwave. I naturally hate that song for some reason, so I told them to stop, but then they started playing catch with my head. They've like petted my case before, which was kind of weird.
Let's get to the irate man.
Can you tell me about the irate man?
There was one person who wanted to be accepted into the museum, but they said that his head was too big to fit in any of the cases, so he got a surgery to make it smaller. But then they said, we don't accept people who have had surgery on their heads because it taints the quality of the museum. So he was really, really mad. He was just like kind of ranting in general, like he came there and started screaming, "Oh, my head, I wish I could be here with all of you heads." Ah.
Let's go with a dad joke.
I guess you could say the irate man lost his head.
Oh, that was good.
Head problems.
That was good
Eventually,
too.
of course, security took him away because I don't like screaming people in the middle of their museum.
Try some wordplay.
Who is the head of security at the National Head Museum?
Yeah, there's a crow in the museum who watches over all the heads and sees if anybody comes to try and steal a head.
The crow bothers
He's
me a
coming
lot
back.
because sometimes it cracks my case. It like comes over and kind of cracks it with its beak.
Here he comes.
Get out of here! No! Leave!
Let's fake some religious nonsense.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to those heads affected by today's horrible tragedy. Reporting to you from RBL Action News, I'm Close Shave. Good night.
Not my case, too. First they have
That
my
was
kids
not
and
good.
now
That's
you-
coming out of your
Oh, God,
paycheck.
This is terrible.
Do we get a mop? Please, mop over here.
Close, watch out. That crow's coming back. Cut the sports. Cut the sports.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to break the case. You got to get me out of here. It was an accident. I have a wife and kids.